Hello, Coley on the air. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Billy Boy in Florida.
Billy Boy in Florida. We have only a minute or two.
I understand. So I called you back on March 13th.
Okay.
And told you that Trump was building Fortress America.
I remember.
I also told you that the global financial system was going to come down.
Yes, you did.
And your response was, So this is all part of a plan. And you're right, it is part of a plan. The weakest banks in the world are not the U.S. banks.
Okay.
The weakest banks in the world are the Japanese banks and the European banks, with Europe being by far the weakest, particularly Deutsche Bank. So part of the strategy, you got to think bigger than you're thinking.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is the magical money printing machines. I called you and mentioned Elon Musk mentioned there's 14 magical money printing machines. So they've basically been printing an infinite amount of money to basically do pure evil all around the world.
Yeah.
And that's all the central banks. 195 countries are controlled by their central banks.
Okay.
The central banks are all controlled by the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and a few large banks and the large families. So the reason you have to think bigger is if you're going to bring down all the central banks, if you're going to shut off the cash flow to the bad guys, which is what Daesh is doing, Daesh is finding out how they're stealing money from us, and they're shutting it down piece by piece and bit by bit. But if you're going to really shut down the cash flow, you've got to secure the southern border. You've got to stop the drug and human trafficking, where they make so much money doing that. And you've got to bring the central banks down. If you bring the big banks down in Europe and Japan, that will be a domino effect that will affect all of the banks in the entire world, and it will affect the entire global financial system.
So if they take down Japan and Europe, that wipes out all the rest of the central banks. The governments of countries turn around, nationalize the central banks, which gets the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds out and restores proper control of countries and the planet.
What must happen is the central bank has to go down so we can do what John F. Kennedy wanted to do, what George Washington wanted to do, what Thomas Jefferson wanted to do, what John Adams wanted to do, what Andrew Jackson wanted to do.
Quickly.
And what Abraham Lincoln wanted to do. They wanted to issue our currency directly from the Treasury so that and charge no interest. Interest-free currency issued directly by the Treasury and eliminate the central bank.
Billy Boy in Florida, I am out of time, but what a great way to wrap up this week.